The member for Warringah.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I second the motion by the member for Indi. And in the remaining time, I will say a few words. I must say, as a barrister, I too, as a former barrister, was rather surprised that as members of parliament we don't have a code of practice and a code of conduct. And I think it is something that is missing, and it takes away from the contribution we can all make, because it is something that I think would elevate the conduct of members of this place and would ensure that the principles for which we're here, which is to serve the public interest and ensure a robust debate, but a debate that serves the public interest, is what is carried out. There's no doubt in my mind that, along with 80% of the Australian public, there is a call for a National Integrity Commission. And along with that Integrity Commission, a code of conduct for members of parliament. Too often the Australian people get cynical when they hear of one scandal after the other that involves members of parliament and departments. Just in the last few weeks we've seen numerous scandals explode on our front pages of the newspapers. And the Australian people could be forgiven for getting cynical and just, I guess, believing that the bar is just lowered one little bit further. Because at the end of the day, we have these headlines, but we don't have any outcomes. The Australian people never get to see or understand what happens next. We sometimes have people falling on their swords, and sometimes we don't. But often it's a rolling front page of headline after headline until we get to the next scandal. And I don't think that is a good outcome for democracy. We really should see a government and all members of this place looking to uphold a greater standard. If not from us, then who will it be? Who will make sure that we actually have a better standard? Now, there's been a lot of calls during this pandemic this year that it's too hard to pass this kind of legislation, or that the consultation needed simply wasn't possible. I don't accept that reason, because of course we've seen that a lot of our operations have been able to be done through Zoom and other electronic mediums. And in the last 6 months, during COVID, we've been able to see brought to Parliament legislation ranging from easing restrictions on political donations, banning mobile phones in immigration detention centres, and dramatically restructuring university fees. We've seen a push through of legislation when it came to environmental protections, and we've seen collaboration from both sides of the chamber to bring about emergency legislation to ensure Australian people were properly cared for during this pandemic. So I think amidst this kind of situation, we absolutely have the right ingredients to bring every member of this parliament together to ensure that we pass legislation that will uphold a greater standard of integrity, accountability and conduct by the members in this place. There has been a disregard and a carelessness to accountability and good governance, and we absolutely must bring that back. I strongly believe that every MP in this place has a duty to their constituents. I believe it goes to the core of the values of what we are here for, what we represent as members of parliament, what so many Australians fought so hard to protect and defend for so many years. I do believe that it's time for accountability and for every member of parliament to step out from behind party lines and come and be accountable for what you truly believe in. You either stand for integrity and anti-corruption and a code of practice and a code of conduct and accountability, or you condone it. You condone every breach by inaction, by unwillingness to debate it and to vote on this legislation. So I believe strongly, Mr Speaker, it's time to bring on the debate on both these bills relating to the Australian Federal Integrity Commission bills and the Code of Conduct for MPs. Thank you.